when you've been running for 2 hours, mainly in the dark, and you finally get to see the first little bit of sunlight coming in. So it's always a great thing for you to finish your workout to such a beautiful view. Hey everyone, thank you for joining me on my 20-mile long run in my current block for the upcoming race to the Myrtle Beach Marathon, upcoming in less than 4 weeks away. My coach has been guiding me to trick my body, to develop my body over the last few long runs, changing on and off between long runs in which I would just simply go LSD, long, slow distance. And I would just simply cover the distance for as long time as it needs to be, just so I can develop endurance. And then others, there'll be more specific marathon workouts. 2 weeks ago, going on an on and off workout, which involved about 5 miles easy, and then about 8 miles in which you change on and off. So 1 mile at your marathon pace, 1 mile back to easy, and then you keep doing that over and over for the 8 miles, and then for the last 3 or 4, go back to easy. Now, as far as today's 20-miler is not LSD. Instead, it's a special workout that involves a pyramid method. The plan is to cover 20 miles, where the first 6 miles is easy, between 9:20 and 9:30 pace, and then the next 8 miles, hopefully, which would be my marathon pace, which would be somewhere between 8:15 and 8:20 pace, and then finishing up with the last 6 miles going back to easy, 9:20 to 9:30 pace. So living in Florida is almost a death wish for you to put in such a huge workout much later in the day when you're having to deal with such high heat and high humidity. To cover the 20 miles needed, I have to wake up pretty early. For me to put in such a long workout, I had to start my run just a little bit before 5 a.m., which is too dark for me to start recording. I'm at mile 15, and I noticed crossing the 13.1 mark in 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 20 seconds, which is pretty good, because if I was able to duplicate that in the second half of a quote-unquote marathon, that would be a PB of roughly 149 and some change. But again, getting ahead of myself, let's get to the information of the workout. Now, my coach gave me the green light for me to finally do a workout in my expected racing shoes, which just by hearing that got me really excited. And so the first 6 miles, the warm-up, going easy pace, 9:20, 9:30 pace, I took out my Nike Pegasus Turbo 2. That shoe is not what I would normally pick for an easy run, for an easy portion of a workout, but I needed it just to get me into form and for me to just get used to the turnover needed for me to get ready for the big portion, the increasing portion of the pyramid workout. And the actual time for that portion, again, the plan was 9:20 to 9:30 pace. I ended up putting in an actual average pace of 9:14. I tend to want to run it at or a little bit faster. And so for the main course of the workout, the middle 8 miles, I changed shoes from the Nike Pegasus Turbo 2 to hopefully it would be my racing shoes, the Nike Vaporfly 4%. Within that 8 miles, the first 3 miles is free to get a transition going from easy pace to marathon pace. So for those 3 miles, the expectation was for me to get between 8:50 and 9-minute pace, which the actual pace I did for those 3 miles was somewhere in the realm of 8:47, 8:48. And then the 5 miles would be mainly to just sit in at expected marathon pace at 8:15, 8:20 pace. My actual was about 8:08. I'm not trying to exceed expectation or the prescribed pace, I just felt really good. My breathing was under control. My form was superb. And honestly, if you've seen the video from a few weeks ago of how I run long miles without music, you would have seen the types of tactics, tips, and methods that I use to distract myself, or essentially just to be hyper focused on how I'm running. Just so that way my form isn't deteriorating. And then essentially once your form deteriorates, not only just your body just starts to hurt, but then your breathing starts getting worse as well. So, and none of that is really good for your running ability or your running economy. Well, now I'm just cooling down in my final 6 miles, going back to easy pace, which right now I'm supposed to stay between 9:20 and 9:30 pace. Right now I'm nearing mile 16, and right now I'm averaging 9:18. So just a little bit faster, but not doing it on purpose. Those are a couple of check boxes that needed to be, those are a couple of boxes that needed to be checked off for a workout such as this. For one thing, test out what pace to test out what pace you can be comfortable in. So that way, the race coming in a few weeks, you have a really good idea of what you can really get comfortable. So for those bulk miles in a race where you're having to go from halfway point to mile 20, you just kind of sit in and get comfortable. So right now, a 20 pace is looking pretty good. Another box that needs to be checked is hydration and nutrition. Personally, I really don't like holding a bottle of water for 2+ hours. So I made the decision to do a lot of my miles in loops in my neighborhood. So that way I can circle back, come back to my house and pick up a bottle of water. And I took in water and nutrition before the run, after mile 6, mile 9, mile 14. And so far training over the last 5 or so months have been really beneficial, because running 10 miles, 12 miles, 14 miles without any water in my system whatsoever has really developed my ability to kind of get comfortable with feeling dehydrated. And not in a really bad way. I'm not trying to make myself hurt unnecessarily, but really it's just to simulate the hurt that you would feel on race day, so that way I'm not focusing on the pain or focusing on something negative. Now that I'm able actually to work on putting in water and putting in some sodium into my system during a run, I'm feeling really good. Approaching mile 17, yeah, my legs are starting to feel a little bit heavy, but not too bad. I can remember from my first marathon, when I was probably 30-40 pounds heavier than what I am today. And at this point in the race, mile 17, I think my first quad, my left quad, pulled, and that's when everything started falling apart. It's just those little memories from prior races that I just go back to, and I just feel really blessed and humbled in knowing how far I've come and knowing how far I've yet to go, but again, just enjoying the journey. All right, everybody, reaching the finish line of this workout, mile 20, 19.99, and done. Wow. All right, so officially mile 20, 2 hours, 57 minutes, and 36 seconds, which sounds pretty good. So that means if I was going to do another 10K to create a full marathon, I can definitely see a sub 350 possibility. So Hey, the one thing I've learned over the last year or so is that I never try to do the absolute best in any given workout. You just be purposeful and be present in what you're planning to do, because the one thing that you need to go all out, overachieve, go beyond the expectation is race day. That's the one thing that, at least for me, I am searching for. Because if I don't, and I go 110% on every single workout, I'm just asking for injury. So I just have to keep in mind on what's important and how to get there. So thanks for viewing. Thanks for joining me on this excellent workout. I feel great. I'm going to have a good shower. I'm gonna have a good breakfast. And at the timing of this recording, today is Easter Sunday. So by the time that you see this video, personally wish that every one of you had a wonderful Good Friday and a wonderful Easter Sunday. Take care of yourself, dream big, put in the work, and make the impossible possible. Thanks, and see you on the next one.